This is the Rhino-Rack Vortex 2500 2-bar roof rack in black, and it's available for all 2015 and newer Super Crew F-150s. Now you guys should be considering the Rhino-Rack 2-bar option here if you'd like to increase the hauling capabilities of your Super Crew, opening up valuable roof space to haul upwards of 165 pounds. Now the Rhino-Rack will combine a glass reinforced nylon leg along with the company's wind noise reducing Vortex crossbars, and will get backed by a limited lifetime warranty, all for right around that low $600 price point. All right guys, a big feature here of course will be the increased hauling capability of your F-150 after the install. Now obviously pickup trucks by nature have a ton of functionality to begin with, but by utilizing that roof space, you are only increasing that capability overall. Now, when installed, this thing can help you haul a number of different items, including cargo and luggage carriers, ski and bike racks, canoes and kayaks, and stand-up paddle boards, along with a host of other possibilities, again, totaling up to 165 pounds. Now, the best part is this leaves your bed open for other cargo and functionality. Now, the Rhino-Rack is easy to install and very easy to remove, and is lockable for enhanced security. Now moving into our construction block, and the Rhino-Rack 2-bar roof rack here, guys, will be comprised of a few different components. Let's break them down, and let's start off with the glass reinforced legs. Now these guys are going to act as sort of a base, if you will, for the twin horizontal bars that we'll talk about more in a minute. Now these legs are going to be held in place by the included fitting kit, which secures the actual rack and legs to your Super Crew's door openings. Now both the actual legs themselves, in addition to the base and the fitting kit, do get outfitted with some rubber pads that will help protect your F-150's paint when the kit has been installed. And here you can see right on the leg the lockability of the actual legs to keep your cargo and the rack in place at all times. Now from there, let's talk a little bit more about the twin crossbars that are included here. Now these are an aluminum bar, basically cut to 59 inches in length, and they are capped off with plastic caps. They are removable, by the way, and when you go to install this for the first time, you'll actually have to remove the VGS rubber stripping with the Vortex bars. Now the VGS stripping is basically what makes the Vortex basically next level in regards to being a little bit more wind noise resistant. It does also protect your cargo that has been mounted to the roof rack at the same time. So that's very cool, and again, that is one of the unique things here about the Vortex option. Now, if wind noise is still an issue for you, you can always check out the available fairing, wind fairing from Rhino-Rack, which is also available here on the site. Last but not least, the Vortex system is backed by the company's limited lifetime warranty, just in case you run into any issues. All right, coming in at or around that low $600 price point, the Rhino-Rack option is going to be priced, I would say, right in the middle of the pack in regards to other roof rack options you'll encounter here at AmericanTrucks.com. For instance, we have options from RackTech or Travelers coming in around that $1,000 price point, give or take, and that's going to be basically your premium options. But on the flip side of that, we certainly have more affordable options from companies like Red Rock, for instance, that will only cost you a couple $100. So definitely check out the rest of our selection here at AT before making your final decision. Last but not least, let's talk about the installation, and the site's going to call this a pretty soft 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about 15 minutes or so to complete from start to finish. But now to give you a better idea of how this one might go down in the garage or driveway at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
Tools required for this install include the tools included in the kit, needle nose pliers, scissors or diagonal cutters, and a tape measure. What's up guys? Today we're installing roof bars on our F-150, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is assemble our bars. We got to get the legs onto them as well as our pads here. First thing we're going to do is pull off the caps on either side. We have these measuring sticks in here that we're going to need to cut down to length depending on if you're installing the front or the back and what type of truck you're installing this on. So just grab the cap and pull it off. And then you can slide out your 2 measuring sticks. There's going to be one here for each side. Now I'm going to show the front install. The rear is exactly the same. The only difference is the front is going to be 169 millimeters and the rear is going to be 166 millimeters. So now for the front roof bar, we need 169 millimeters. So we're gonna come up to that line and we're gonna take a pair of scissors or diagonal cutters and make a cut there. And then do that exact same thing for the other one. So now you want the half that you cut that starts at 0 and ends at 169. We're gonna be sliding this into this channel here. We've got those little tabs on the side. Just slide that in until you can't slide it any further, and then grab a pair of needle nose pliers. And you're gonna pull until it bottoms out there. And then we can take our leg, we're gonna push out the little nut. That's gonna slide into the rail. You're gonna press down on this so that it's flat, and you're gonna stop when it butts up against that 169 millimeter measurement. And then take that included Allen wrench, thread in that bolt, and tighten it down. Now on the Allen wrench they want you to tighten it down until this part goes straight, and that's gonna be your 4 to 5 Newton meters that you need to torque this down to. Next we can assemble the pads that are gonna go on the bottom of our feet. Now this one is stamped M700. 700 is gonna be for the passenger side. The one that says 699 is for the driver's side. So then what you're gonna wanna do is find this little lip. You're gonna have the arrow on the plastic one pointed towards that lip. And then you're just gonna press this down into that pad. Now you have these 2 clips that are gonna go onto these 2 spots. So flip it over and just press it onto those. Line it up, press it down to lock it into place, and do the exact same thing on the other side. Now we're gonna take our end caps and press these back into place. Do the same thing on the other side. Now once you have your front bar fully assembled, do the exact same thing for the rear, except you have that 166 millimeter measurement instead of the 169 that we did for the front. So now we're gonna lay our bars across our roof. We have certain measurements that we're gonna have to measure out and make sure they're in the right spot, but for now we're just gonna get both of them up there. So now the first measurement we need is on our front bar here. We're gonna measure between the crack from the front and rear door to the center of our bar. We're looking for 11 1/32 of an inch. We're just gonna slide this over until it lines up. And then do the same thing on the other side and get it nice and straight. Now our second measurement is gonna be from that same starting point of the crack between the door to the center of our rear bar. This is gonna be 20 15/32, so essentially just 20.5 inches. Get it in there and move it over until it's at just under 20.5. And then match up your measurement on the other side. So now we're gonna get these bolted down to the roof with our brackets here. First thing we're gonna do is grab our key, twist this to the left and fold it out. Then grab your Allen key and remove this bolt. Now we're gonna grab our bolt and put it through that bracket. We're gonna hook this bottom part under here. And then adjust our threaded portion so that it's straight with our bolt. And then take that security Allen wrench and start threading that in. And then now we're just doing the same thing as before. We're gonna turn this by the outside of here until this handle bends completely straight. And that's how we know we've tightened it down far enough. And right there, it's straight. Now we're gonna grab our cover, slide these 2 tabs in, turn the key to lock it, make sure it's not popping off. And then the one last thing we need to do is take our special tool, turn this to the right to lock our end cap on. Just give it a tug, make sure it's not coming off, and we're gonna repeat the same process for the back one. Now repeat the whole process on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Rhino-Rack Vortex 2500 2-bar roof rack in black for your 2015 and newer F-150 Super Crew. Thank you for watching. For all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.